Remove this from your kitchen. Now it could cause cancer. Your kitchen is where life in your home truly happens. The rich aroma of fresh coffee, the quiet comfort of a meal made by hand, the little moments that slowly turn into memories and stay with us for decades. Yet behind that warmth, something else is happening that almost nobody talks about. Hiding between your favorite pots, plastic containers, and everyday spices are invisible threats you touch, inhale with the steam, and put straight onto the plates of the people you love. Day after day after day, tiny particles slip into your food without your knowledge. For years, these materials were stamped as harmless, even recommended. Now, newer research is connecting some very common kitchen tools and products with hormone disruption, chronic inflammation, and serious illnesses you never want near your family. In this video, I am going to walk you through 8 of the most widespread hidden kitchen hazards and show you simple, low-cost replacements that can help safeguard your home starting today. Stay with me until the very last one, because number 1 is almost certainly sitting on your countertop right now, and it may be quietly increasing your risk. Before we get started, tap like on this video and share it with someone who cooks with love and care. They will be grateful you did. And tell me in the comments, do you love your kitchen? Do you want to keep it safe? And where in the US or in the world are you watching from? Type it below. Now, let us reveal the 8 hidden intruders in your kitchen. 8. Plastic cutting boards. Have you ever really considered what is happening each time your knife hits that plastic cutting board? With every slice and chop, tiny fragments are shaved off the surface and end up right in your food. According to a 2023 paper published in Environmental Science and Technology, a single cut can release over 1,000 microplastic particles. Over the course of a year, that can add up to an estimated 14 to 71 million plastic particles entering your body from your cutting board alone. These microplastics are not easily cleared out. They can gradually build up in organs like the liver, kidneys, and lungs, and early research is already tying them to long-term inflammation, hormonal imbalances, and an increased risk of cardiovascular problems. There is another issue as well. The more scarred and grooved a plastic board becomes, the more it turns into a perfect hiding place for bacteria. So, what is the safer choice? Opt for wooden cutting boards. With bamboo being a top option thanks to its natural antimicrobial qualities. Tempered glass is another hygienic alternative, although it can make your knives dull faster. Marble can be used too. And as for that old plastic board sitting on your counter, the best move is to get rid of it completely. Do not store it. Do not donate it. Your health is more important than hanging on to it. 7. Black plastic spatulas. That simple black spatula sitting in your kitchen drawer might actually be a chemical time bomb. Most people have no idea that many of these utensils are produced from recycled electronic waste. Think old televisions, computers, and other gadgets that are shredded and melted down, then turned into tools you use to flip your eggs and stir your soup. Those electronics were full of flame retardants that have been linked to cancer. In 2024, the journal Chemosphere published a study that tested more than 200 black plastic kitchen utensils. The findings were alarming. About 85% of them contained toxic substances, and in some cases, the levels were up to 200 times higher than what European regulations allow. When you press these spatulas against a hot pan, those chemicals are far more likely to migrate into your meal. People who show high concentrations of these compounds in their blood can have up to a 300% increased risk of developing certain cancers. These substances are powerful endocrine disruptors. They interfere with your hormone system, damage thyroid health, and can reduce fertility. Even more disturbing traces of these chemicals have been detected in breast milk, which means they can reach the most vulnerable members of the family. The safest move is simple. Get rid of every black plastic spatula you own. Replace them with wooden utensils, stainless steel tools, or high-quality food-grade silicone. They may cost a little extra at the checkout, but when you think about protecting your long-term health, that small price is absolutely worth it. 6. Scratched non-stick pans Teflon. If you are using a non-stick skillet at home, this part is crucial. That smooth Teflon surface is only safe while it is intact. Once it becomes chipped or scratched, it can start shedding countless toxic nanoparticles known as PFAS into your food. These are often called forever chemicals because your body cannot break them down or eliminate them. Many countries, along with several states in the US, have already moved to restrict or ban PFAS in cookware, yet older pans remain in countless kitchens. Research from Australia in 2024 showed that even a single scratch on a non-stick coating can release millions of PFAS particles during cooking. These chemicals are associated with a higher risk of several cancers, including kidney, testicular, thyroid, liver, and pancreatic cancer. They also compromise your immune system and have been linked to reduced effectiveness of vaccines. In pregnant women, PFAS exposure is tied to an increased risk of preeclampsia and babies being born with low birth weight. There is another danger as well. When a Teflon-coated pan is heated past about 500 degrees Fahrenheit or 260 degrees, which can happen more quickly than you think, it can emit toxic fumes that cause what is known as Teflon flu. Symptoms include fever, chills, headaches, and a feeling very much like having the flu, except it is actually a chemical reaction. The safest approach is clear. If your non-stick pan has visible scratches, get rid of it without hesitation. Choose healthier alternatives instead. Cast iron can last for generations and even contributes a bit of natural iron to your meals. Stainless steel is tough, reliable, and free from toxic coatings. High-quality ceramic cookware offers a smooth, naturally non-stick surface without harmful chemicals. Investing in these options is truly an investment in your long-term health. 5 old plastic containers in the microwave. Do you pop leftovers into the microwave in those old plastic tubs you have had for years? That habit is far more dangerous than it looks. When aged plastic is exposed to heat, it essentially turns into a mini chemical reactor. Researchers at the University of Nebraska in 2023 discovered that microwaving plastic can release more than 2 billion nanoplastic particles per square centimeter. And here is the most disturbing part. Even containers labeled as BPA-free are not truly safe. Many manufacturers simply swapped BPA for BPS and BPF chemicals that may be just as harmful or even worse. These substances are powerful endocrine disruptors that have been linked to diabetes, weight gain, infertility, and high blood pressure. A separate study in 2024 found that people who had microplastics lodged in their arteries faced roughly twice the risk of heart attack, stroke, or death within a 3-year period. So, what is the safer approach? Never heat food in plastic under any circumstances. Choose glass or ceramic dishes for reheating. Even plastic lids can release harmful compounds when they get hot. If you need to cover your food, use a paper towel or parchment paper instead. Using plastic only for cold storage in the refrigerator is generally acceptable, but always transfer food to a glass container before reheating. And if you have plastic boxes that are old, scratched, cloudy, or warped, it is time to throw them out. They are already breaking down and leaching chemicals into your food. 4. Fake silicone utensils. Picked up a bargain silicone spatula or muffin mold from an online shop. Time to think twice. Not every silicone item in your kitchen is truly safe. There is genuine food-grade silicone, which is stable and designed for cooking, and then there are cheap versions that can contain up to 40% plastic fillers and even heavy metals. In a 2023 study, scientists examined 42 silicone kitchen products. 84% showed hormone-disrupting effects. They also found 21 different metals inside them, including dangerous ones like lead and cadmium. The worst part is that you cannot see the problem on the surface. That cute, colorful baking mold could be loaded with substances that damage the brain and nervous system. So, how do you choose safer silicone? Look for clear certifications such as FDA, LFGB, or NSF 51. Do a quick paper test by rubbing the item on a sheet of white paper. If it leaves a streak of color, It is not safe and should go in the trash. Heat the silicone slightly and pay attention to the smell. If it gives off a strong chemical odor, it is not food grade. Whenever possible, stick to trusted brands that are properly certified and sold in the US. 3. Imported spices with heavy metals. Love using turmeric, oregano, or paprika in your cooking. Then this one is important. A major investigation by Consumer Reports tested 126 samples of popular spices and seasonings. The results were troubling. Roughly 1/3 contained dangerous levels of heavy metals, such as lead, cadmium, or arsenic. These contaminants often come from polluted soil in other countries, particularly in areas where farming and production are poorly regulated. In 2024, the FDA also reported that several spice products sold in the US contained metal concentrations above accepted safety thresholds. This is not a short-term problem. Heavy metals accumulate in the body over many years. Lead can reduce IQ in children and impair memory and learning. Cadmium primarily targets the kidneys and can remain stored in the body for up to 3 decades. Arsenic is linked to cancers of the skin, lungs, and bladder. For children, as little as a 1/4 teaspoon of a contaminated spice each day can push them beyond recommended exposure limits. So how can you lower the risk? Choose spices from reputable brands that are subject to FDA monitoring. Skip loose or bulk spices that do not list a brand name, country of origin, or clear labeling. Consider growing your own herbs at home. Simple plants like basil, oregano, and rosemary can thrive on a sunny windowsill. It also helps to rotate the brands you buy, rather than sticking with the same imported label every time. This reduces the chance of long-term exposure from a single contaminated source. 2 strong cleaning products on food surfaces. Do you spray powerful cleaners directly onto your kitchen counters and then slice fruit or vegetables on that same spot a few minutes later? That habit can quietly expose you to chemicals. Residues from cleaning sprays cling to the surface, and even after a quick wipe or rinse a portion, can transfer right into your food. Data from the CDC shows that calls to poison control centers involving household cleaning products have increased by about 23% in recent years. One major issue is that many people unknowingly mix products such as bleach and ammonia, creating toxic gases and dangerous chemical reactions in the air they breathe. Here is a safer approach. Choose only CDC or EPA-approved cleaners that are specifically labeled as safe for food contact surfaces. A properly diluted bleach solution using 1 tablespoon of bleach per gallon of water is considered safe for sanitizing. So is 70% isopropyl alcohol used correctly. You can also go for more natural options. White vinegar has disinfecting properties, and baking soda is excellent for scrubbing and removing stains without adding toxins. No matter which method you use, one rule always applies. After cleaning, rinse the area very thoroughly with clean water before placing any food on that surface. 1. Old kitchen sponges. Sitting in your sink right now is something you think is cleaning your dishes when, in reality, it may be spreading illness. You scrub your child's plates with it, the glasses you drink from, the forks and spoons you put into your mouth. And while you are doing that, it can be smearing billions of bacteria over everything you wash. In 2024, researchers in Germany examined 14 used kitchen sponges. They identified 362 different bacterial species, including microbes normally found in human feces. The bacterial load was staggering around 82 billion per cubic centimeter, which is comparable to raw sewage. And here's the twist. Trying to sanitize the sponge often makes things worse. A 2017 study found that so-called clean sponges after boiling or microwaving actually contained more dangerous bacteria than sponges that had been left alone. Among them were Moraxella osloensis, Acinetobacter johnsonii, and Craseobacterium hominis. In other words, you are breeding supercharged bacteria right in your sink. The reason is simple. The inside of a sponge never fully dries out. It stays warm, moist, and soaked with tiny bits of food. That creates the perfect environment for bacteria to multiply. Each time you wipe a plate or a cutting board, you may be spreading E. coli, which can cause severe diarrhea and urinary tract infections. Salmonella, a common source of food poisoning, Campylobacter, a leading cause of gastroenteritis, and Staphylococcus aureus, which ranges from minor skin infections to serious pneumonia. The hard truth is that a sponge is no longer safe after about 1 week of use. Boiling does not solve the problem. Microwaving can make it worse. Bleach only works for a short time. Vinegar does almost nothing against this level of contamination. The only real fix is to replace your kitchen sponge every single week without exceptions. And yes, you might be thinking that your mother used the same sponge for ages and everyone seemed fine. I thought that too. But now the science is clear. That mysterious stomach bug, the recurring UTI, the constant flare-ups of gastritis may not have been random at all. The quiet culprit could have been the sponge you trusted to clean your dishes. Option 1 is to use regular disposable sponges and replace them every single week. Option 2, which is the safest choice, is to switch to an antibacterial silicone brush. And remember, never use a sponge on anything that has touched raw meat on baby bottles or on your cutting boards. For those jobs, use paper towels moistened with 70% alcohol instead. Now, here is your action step. Go into your kitchen and throw that sponge in the trash. Do not wait until it looks dirty. Do not justify it by saying you just changed it last week. Get rid of it right now. Every minute it sits beside your sink, bacteria are multiplying. And tomorrow morning, without thinking, you will scrub your coffee mug with it. Is that really a risk you want to take? You would never let your child lick a toilet seat. So why let them eat from a plate that has been wiped with a bacteria factory disguised as a cleaning tool? Your kitchen may be crawling with invisible threats, but now you know exactly how to fight back. You do not need to overhaul everything in one day. Take it slowly, one change at a time. Begin with that scarred plastic cutting board, then move on to the black plastic spatulas, then the old non-stick pans. Every upgrade you make is another layer of protection for your body and your family. The people you love deserve meals that are as free from toxins as possible, and you have the power to turn your kitchen into a genuinely safe space. If this video opened your eyes, share it with a friend or family member who cooks daily. They may be grateful for the rest of their lives. And after you have thrown away that old sponge, come back and tell me in the comments which of these 8 hidden dangers surprised you the most. I truly want to hear from you. Then decide which video you will watch next. Will it be my video on the early signs that your heart may be in trouble, or the one about the common medication that could increase your risk of dementia? I will see you in the next video. Thank you so much for watching.